Remember those times? The times of our childhood when we didn't have to worry, when we had no bills to pay, no responsibilities, and we were free. Oh, the good days we had. We jumped on bikes, felt the wind in our faces, and met up with friends outside that were doing the same things we were. No smartphones to distract us. No social media drama we had to worry about. Oh, what I would do to live those times again. The best times of my life, in fact, until I was told to stop.
Guns down, bikes up, stop the violence. Yeah, the police hate it in my city when we riding. We be 12 o'clock and
this is our babies. Number one, you want them off drugs, you don't want them on the streets, you don't want them acting up, you don't want them at home all day playing video games. What do you want from them? You can't make change just by complaining, fighting, and arguing what is coming up in the world. This is what's coming up. They are our future.
Yeah, I've been riding since I was like 12, bro.
Revving and popping the clutch. Can't shake that feeling that I get.
I think the issues are stemming from us not creating a welcoming community, a welcome and inviting space, and us continuing to reject, judge, and attack.
Perfect example, skateboarders. They give us skate park. 1, 2, 3, I can name 4 skate parks right now. You know what I mean? You just give us somewhere to ride.
Bike life to me is exactly what you said. Like bike life, like I ride my bike, and it's probably gonna be for the rest of my life. I sentence myself behind those bars before the police sentence me behind some bars.
When we don't listen to the next generation on hand, they then will start to feel invisible. And I keep using that word invisible because I can't get away from it, because it is the core truth to the problem. So if we don't give our kids an outlet to let out their energy, let out their frustration, let out their thoughts, their creativity, they're gonna let it out in other ways. The guy down the street parked in the bright, beautiful Camaro, telling him, look what you can have, as opposed to being on my stage with a mic in your hand, or as opposed to being on 2 wheels and letting out that energy. I mean, come on guys, we gotta choose and pick here. Are we gonna give them the resources that they need and want to release their energy? Or are we gonna continue in the same insidious cycle? And now they're gonna be the next one standing on that corner in that Camaro convincing the next kid that that's where they should be.
We were just riding normal, you know. We were about to go out near 5 Points to go get someone, and then we seen this cop, and we just rode past him like normal. And then he got in his car and started wailing the horns, and we just got on the sidewalk because we didn't know if he was gonna like come flying down the street or anything like that. We didn't even know he was gonna chase us until he said, get off your bikes, get off your bikes. So I was like, first instinct, the first thing we thought was run.
If you see 80 kids on a bike wheeling, the first thing we need to do is pull together the decision makers and say, how do we create a bike park?
I think it's the fact that the leaders of our community are hopelessly out of step because they are the product of an earlier time.
Like if you don't like,
sometimes they like,
you don't come to them if they turn their lights and say come here, and you don't say come here to their car and like see what they want, they're gonna try to like you just shot somebody or something, chase you like you just did something crazy.
So I was going up the alleyway, and actually a detective came, and the car tried to hit me. The cop car tried to hit me, so I moved over to the side a little bit, and the officer jumped out the car, and he gripped me up, took me off my bike, and like pushed me like that against his car.
We're asking the question, what are you saying? My children cannot ride, my 5, 6, 7 to 15-year-old can't ride a bike on the sidewalk? And actually, this is nothing new. So today we're talking about bike life, but when I was a kid, and you're talking 17, 18 years ago, we were talking about the skateboarders. Nobody wanted skateboarders around, so they started passing ordinances to get them off the street. Now today, we're talking about bike life, and they're passing ordinances to get the kids off the sidewalk. Then it's off the street. Sooner or later, you're not gonna be able to have a bike in the city. And that's the problem.
All the gates were open, no one was there, we were just chilling, not making noise, not destroying anything. He basically said that we weren't allowed there, or until past dawn we weren't allowed there. we said okay, we complied with everything, and he said, oh, if you would have all complied, I would have gave you the warning, which we both complied. And I asked him why. He just gave us the fine instead of the warning. He said you are still in the skate park, which made really no sense. He said we'd give you a warning if you complied, which you did.
They present themselves to you with what they consider are very basic, simple requests. We want to ride our bicycles, for example. We want to not be hassled or harassed when we're doing so. To me, that's a common sense request. When they find out it's not, the temptation is very strong to say, well, then the hell with it.
I'm at a point, I do it for the kids. Show them there's more to life, you know, than being out in the streets doing drugs, selling drugs, fighting. Just show them, you know, something different.
There's certain cops that are cool with us, but most of the cops, they just don't like us.
Let's not exclude the development of fitness, structure of their bones, social skills, building bonds, and the development of character, because self-confidence builds within itself. So someone tell me why teenagers are actually being penalized for making the greatest memories on, I don't know, let's say Saturday mornings, waking up early to eat and actually going outside, making friendships and living their lives. But the state of PA allows 12-year-olds to miss out on school when it's the first day of the hunting games. They are allowed to use a bow and arrow or a rifle to take a life. But in the city, if you pop a wheelie, you get stopped and frisked for living the bike life. What a time.
You know, just like maybe shout a warning or something like that, you know. But you don't always have to go straight to trying to arrest us and stuff.
That is not a solution. I mean, seriously, number one, who's gonna pay that fine? It ain't gonna be the kid. So now you're gonna go ahead and target the parents. That might be a step away from being homeless. That's not gonna happen. Let's start working with them. Figuring it out. We have to figure it out. APD has an issue because the kids are on the street and they might be interfering in traffic. Well, let's bring them in and listen to them. And then let's take action.
I think the disconnect is police see one bad apple and they put it on everybody. You know what I mean? Y'all all scum. Y'all all bad. They just feel like we shouldn't be in the city. But the way I see it is, you know, when I grew up, I seen gangbanging, drug dealing. That's what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? Now the kids don't see that. They see bikes. And what do? They ride them bikes. You know what I mean?
Issues to do with the youth, yes, we need to do that. We need to work with them. We need to find out what they want as opposed to telling them what they want.
We have to remember that bicycling is not just a transportation activity, it's a recreation activity. What happened is when the people in power decided that bicycling was suddenly the in thing, their goal was to create park trails that connected people's houses to people's work. Well, that's all right. That's a good goal. I have no problem with that. But they forgot that the predominant use of bicycles remains children and youth under 18 using their bicycle to go small distances or to just have fun riding a bike.
I get on my bike, 3 in the morning, I get up, can't sleep, whatever. I'll go ride down the street, back up, or whatever, just ride my bike. Like 3 in the morning, anytime I feel like it. It's just, that's my drug, I don't know.
We have to understand that we have to support our youth. We have to understand that if you want change, you have to be part of that change. And we gotta stop just listening and we gotta take action.
If there's anything that we can do, I would say from the city's perspective, they should be getting with these young people, supporting them 1,000%. And maybe you need to educate them on safety. And if it still continues to become an issue, creating an environment or a space for them.
Let's go back to the fact that Allentown has nearly 44 parks. What happens if you were to take one and make it into an actual bike park for them?
I don't want the kids that we see today to have to go through the pain that I've had to go through to become who I am. I want us to support them today. So I support any youth in our community that wants to do something positive. And that's how I see bike life. If you want to lift your wheel up, you know, put a helmet on. Put a helmet on.
At any point in your life, did you feel like you just wanted to be listened to? Did you ever feel like you wanted to go find help, but didn't know where to go? These kids found that in each other. Even though it may seem like a lifetime ago, do you see a little of yourself in these kids? Should we at least listen to them? Should we meet them halfway? Now, take a moment and think back at your life. Did you deserve a fair chance?
Guns down, bikes up, stop the violence. Yeah, the police hate it in my city. When we riding, we be 12 o'clock in front, tie up to the sky. It's bike life and no life, we never hiding. Guns down, bikes up, stop the violence. Yeah, the police hate it in my city. When we riding, we be 12 o'clock in front, tie up to the sky. It's bike life and no life, we never hiding. I love the sound of a bike when it be chopping up. Pull up in traffic, get the revving and popping the clutch. Can't shake that feeling that I get when I'm popping it up. Like an OD, I swear this shit gets me higher than drugs. It's bike life, let me paint a light picture. We be riding through the city with them red and blues. Flicker got the whole pack up in the hood. This shit, even bicycles taking flight with you. Popping wheelies, getting right with you. Never panic, but pay attention to where the cops at. We ain't hurting nobody, just working on our drop bag. The violence, we gotta stop that. I told the little homies, get a clutch so we can teach them how to pop that.
Never panic, but pay attention to where the cops at. We ain't hurting nobody, just working on our drop back. The violence, we gotta stop that. I told the little homies, get a clutch so we can teach them how to pop that.
Guns down, bikes up, stop the violence. Yeah, the police hate it in my city. When we riding, we be 12 o'clock in front, tie up to the sky. It's bike life and no life, we never hiding. Guns down, bikes up, stop the violence.